What's going on, people? What's going on? How are you doing? Sorry for the technical difficulties already. We're starting a little late, but that's all right. You already know we on CP time. Every time,
Mhm.
every day. I'm going to give everybody a chance to get up in here. But while we're doing that, let's go ahead and give a shout out to some people that are in the chat. What's going on, Deshaun? He was saying, "What's up, beautiful queens?" And my crush, Asia, yeek. Get some. I'm not thinking. I don't think Asia's gonna be joining us tonight, but hey, we will
She's under
definitely
the
send
weather.
her a shout out. She's under the weather. There's a lot of people been kind of
Yeah,
overcoming some illnesses. We got
yeah.
Three Dirty. He can take blame for his misses, but not the loss. There is plenty of blame to go around. He's already in the question, you know.
All
But we're going
right.
to
I
go. We're
agree
going
with
to
him.
direct that. We're going to talk about that
Yes.
today. We sure will. What's good, ladies? King Treyway, how you doing? How you doing? What's happening? American Eagle Jew, what's going on? How you doing, sir? D Coleman, what's going on? What's going on?
Oh,
What's going on? And Brian Peoples, I see you in the chat. I want y'all to do me a favor. If you're in here right now, go ahead and share this out, please. That's all I ask. That is all I ask. Share this out. Let everybody know that we are here. In case you don't know who we are, let's go ahead and remind these folks because, we need this name to be household names.
mhm.
We are the Ladybirds of AFN. How y'all doing, ladies? How you doing?
Mighty fine, mighty fine. Wasn't the win that I was hoping for, but it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
It's all good. Hey,
All
Brianna.
right, all right. Right on time as well. So, introduce yourself. Who are you for the right top of me? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, talking about me?
Yeah,
Auntie
yeah.
Pam. Hello everybody. Um, welcome to the show.
Okay. Right
I'm
underneath Miss
Christy.
Pam, who's Miss Chrissy. What's going on, lady? Introduce yourself.
Yep. Yep. Good evening, everybody. This is Christy, Sip Dirty, just a dirty bird from South Mississippi. Rise up.
Okay, I love it. Rise up, ladies. And right next to her, she came in a little late, but that's okay. Always on time, no matter what.
Yes.
Introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Bree. I'm from Augusta, Georgia. Can't be too happy this week due to the outcome of the game Sunday, but still, we gonna rise up.
Yes.
That's right. That's the optimism. I'm not too worried. I'm disappointed, yes, but we still got season to go. So we still got games to win. Um, Still a long way to go. So, and we got a bye week coming up. We just got to take care of business for the next game. But overall, we're going to get through it. We're going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and give a couple more shout outs to the fans in the chat. Queen Asia, hey, appreciate you watching. We got ATL Leo. The Younghoe needs to be pimped, slapped. The Younghoe. I can tell by Chrissy's voice that her green's good. Oh, Lord, D. Coleman.
Ooh.
Saying your
Look,
greens are
all
good.
facts.
He can.
All
Ooh.
facts. All facts.
AFN ladies had a blast Sunday. As a matter of fact, I want to put some pictures up in here because I want to give a shout out to everybody that did come out. Let me put that in the banners.
Yes.
Since for some reason I can't get out of Mike's pictures, so I'm gonna put it onto his profile. But shout out to everybody that came out and Miss Pam and Christy. Did you guys meet up? How did that
No,
go?
We didn't get a chance.
we you go ahead.
Oh, we didn't get a chance to meet up, but I was in New Orleans since Friday, so I came home Saturday night. So I did make it to the game. I woke up in time. I woke up in time to make it to the game, but hey, that's what I do every year. So it's
Hey,
always a party.
Yeah,
I
I had a
love it.
wedding to attend. Congratulations to Brianna and Joshua Myers on their nuptial. They got married in West Point, so I was
Awesome.
there Saturday afternoon. But I caught the Delta flight that Saturday night. So I spent Saturday night, and I went to the game that Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Were you doing some second line and all that, in the parade, or did you get a chance to
Oh
get
no,
out there?
the parade happened while I was at the wedding in West Point, so I wasn't in
Okay.
New Orleans. So they had that
Okay.
Saturday night. Shout out to the Rise Up Tour for organizing that.
Right.
I would
Yeah.
love to, take advantage of that eventually. I definitely will. But, just shout out to everybody that did come out to the game,
Nice.
the game watch party. We're holding down the South Side. I know Miss Keishberg lady has the Kate Monticello's locked down. But for those that want to be on that side, we got the South Side locked down. So you guys that came out to the watch party, some of my pictures didn't load, but shout out to y'all that came out. We had us a amazing time. We had us a
It
good
looked like a
time.
good time.
Definitely want to keep it growing, keep it moving. That's one of the owners of that restaurant. Shout out to Miss Brown. The hospitality in there is just none other. And then, of course, there you go. All right, and we got Sam, Big Sam.
Yeah.
So just shout out to everybody that came out. Look at that. Hey, J. Rome,
Nice.
speaking of J. Rome and his beautiful wife right there that came through. Look, I just love it. I just love to get everybody together, and we probably will be doing this again next Sunday coming up. We were trying to take the away games so y'all can have a chance to kind of be amongst Falcons fans for those that don't travel at all, so let's just give you an opportunity. Miss Bianca, she's always just there and showing her love. I love that. So shout out to y'all though, everybody that came through. But let's do it. Let's have this conversation, ladies. I already know how we do it. Instead of just a rapid rewind of what you thought, we're gonna break it down bit by bit. This makes it a lot easier. And are we gonna have a Christy rant today?
No, I
Are
don't
we?
have nothing. No.
Okay. Okay, Bree.
I said November would be different where I have to do I mean, if you go on Coach Unchained, thanks to Coach Unchained for those Saturday mornings, because I tell you, I used to work 3 jobs and he really kept me off folks' backs.
Hey,
so he's like a little mini psychology, like fan psychology. Like, it's not that bad. We still got 7 more games. He just be so chilled all the time. And so, but I did have to do one thing I've learned from the originators and regulators and the franchise is that I knew what I was seeing on the field, but then I had to go do some background research, and then it sort of calms you down a little bit. Like everybody was into get rid of Koo, and then you do your little background research and find out, well, then that game was just a bad game. It's not that bad considering where he is in the league, within the division, and on our team. So
yeah.
Let's talk about it. Since you kind of brought that up, let's just go ahead and put the elephant out the room. What do y'all think? Was this the question is, did he lose us the game?
No.
How do y'all feel about that?
I mean, the points would have helped, and again, I get in my Matt Bryant feelings. I really do, because he was a phenomenal kicker. But I think it's what led up to that, considering if you go back to the Cowboys game, he didn't have to kick any field goals. He wasn't put in that position to make that type of decision. And he has never missed this season, any of the extra points. So what I realized from me watching Koo is that since that back injury last year, like mid-season last year, that his kicking hasn't been the same, and then he switched up his stance. And I wondered, was that a part of the effects of the injury? A lot of people said he wanted to improve himself, but I thought it was more related. You didn't see a lot of changes in him until that particular thing occurred. And I thought he was more successful above the 40, with kicking from 40 or greater, but that's where some of his issues have been. So I think it was just a bad game. He's still number 4 in NFC. He's still number 10 across the league. Who you gonna get better than him when we have so many other needs? I just think it was a bad game. And again, the offense, you got to put the pressure where it's supposed to be. You know, on that with the coaches on the sidelines, and the offense when it came down to that part, it wasn't just him. It wasn't just him. This was a team loss.
It was.
It was a team loss. So
Okay. Who want to go ahead and add to that one? I agree with you, Christy. I'm not on. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I guess put my own in there. I'm not at all. We was talking earlier in the background. I'm not too upset about it. Of course, he made some mistakes, but if you look at one of the kicks, as you see, you know, the 35-yarder was blocked. You know, and it's just if we didn't put him in that position where we had to get those points, we had to get something on the board, and we did what we had to do offensively. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna break it down what happened offensively, but it would have been a different outcome. It's like I keep telling you guys, I don't want it to always come down to coup when it comes to these games. But at the same time, I also said I don't care, no matter the reason, the season, as well as all of a sudden interim coach. It's still a tight, close. You know, it's a game that we must win. You know, we can't sleep on these. It was they lost you know, all this and that. Everybody getting all excited about these penalty injuries and everything else. Like you said, this is not a trap game. This is a game we got to win. So that's how I felt about it. But yeah,
we should have won it. We should really have won it.
Yeah,
I think the penalty hurt us big time. I mean, if we didn't have those penalties, we would have probably been in a position to score. And the fact that the offensive play calling hurt us too. When you running game is doing good, you need to go ahead and run at him and not go away from him. And that's the biggest key right there. He went away from the run game, which I felt he should never done, you know. But that's my 2 cents on the offense, what had happened. But I didn't, you know, after the game, I kind of blamed it. But then after I reflect and actually, you know, saw the replay and all that, then I said, well, they had a lot of penalties that got called back, and then the fact that he went away from the run game, that hurt us. So that's all I'm gonna add on to that.
Okay. And Ms. Bree, how do you feel? You know, this get rid of coup game, or how do you feel about it?
So there was a lot of points. I felt like, of course, as every other fan, sit his ass down. He had too many bourbons on Bourbon Street, hanging out with the fans type of aspect. But kind of looking into it, I feel like it was a mentality thing. I think he just wasn't in the right headspace. And, you know, I wasn't at the game, but from what I was seeing when they showed him, you could just tell in his demeanor he wasn't himself, like he wasn't there. And even when they were flashing, you know, I always reflect the coaching is a lot like teaching, so I can kind of relate to it. I just kind of felt like unless they didn't show that the coaches kind of put him in that headspace to kind of get back into the game type of thing, you know, that mental aspect that he was dealing with. But then when they were flashing, you didn't see him practicing. Normally, typically, when we see him, when they flash him, he's practicing kicks.
Yeah, he was practicing. He was practicing. I was right behind the sideline. He was practicing every time he got in the, you know, when he felt they got close. You know, he was practicing kicking.
Yeah,
so.
he was.
But I felt they put him in a bad situation. The offense should have really scored. I mean, they, you know, the penalties hurt. And the fact they didn't stick with the run, you know, I was mad because they were good with the run game. Why go away from it?
What you said about the run game, they weren't good starting out because if you didn't realize
that second half, they were in that second half,
but not the first half, and that's what messed us up. Because you remember that play, Tyler Algier got bulldozed like bad. So the run game wasn't working starting out. But Zach has to understand as an offensive coordinator, stop that's not working. In that aspect, the defense was doing the job of stopping the run game. Could have immediately switched it up with the pass, but we kept forcing the run game that wasn't working. So that's why it was always 3 and outs or get into a situation where we're forcing the run game, and then we have this eventually a pass play, and then that pass play, had a play doing it again, run game penalties type of thing. But he got to understand. I understand you go in the game with a mindset of what you think is going to work, but you need to switch it over and not wait till a whole half of the game is over to start making some adjustments. That's what I have a problem with. Right. Like, we wait too late to make adjustments because we could have easily been up before the half. Like, there's no reason why we should start coming back in the third and then putting everybody in a position to try to come back and win the game. And then you see what happens when Kurt get under pressure, he throw picks.
Right. And Bree, you're right. And we've done it for too many games where it's really repetitive. And that's something that 2 of their defensive players, the defensive players, said early in the week during their press conferences that they were watching our film and preparing for that. And so that's what you saw with Algier when they were double teaming him. Now, the person they couldn't handle was Pitts. They couldn't handle Pitts.
Yeah.
One time when they tried to tackle him, he stood up. It was nothing that the 2 of these defenders could do with him. And so they couldn't hold to that for all 4 quarters. But yeah, I agree with you. They should have made adjustments or at least prepared to play them. Because that's what seemed missing to me. Are you watching film? You know, it makes you wonder, are you watching your opponent's film? Because it seemed like this game was similar to the Seahawks game. Like, you're not prepared. And parts of the time, it seemed like the defense were not they were confused on what they were going to do next. From my standpoint in the stands, it was like they were looking at each other like where I'm supposed to be. And I was like, what's going on here? I was like, oh God, it's the Seahawks game. That's how I felt.
Let's go ahead and get into we talked about just a little bit with Koo. You know, everybody wanted to have that, conversation, but overall, I think everybody kind of agrees. I mean, it's mixed. Some people was like, yep, he's the reason. Some people like, if we shouldn't have put him in that position in the first place to where it was up to him to get those. So, but let's go ahead and get right into Atlanta's offense. Atlanta's offense stuff. Go ahead, Christy.
Britt.
How many for because I need to know this for future references. When it comes to the 53-man roster, is there only one kicker? Or is there a backup kicker?
Depends. What you talking about? Special teams, kickoff. Which one?
I know you have Pinion. It's just Pinion and Koo?
You know what? That's a good question.
Because
I mean, if something had happened to the kicker, who would be the backup kicker? That's something I think they need to ask. Yeah, because I'm just thinking, had this been a situation, yes, it was a divisional game, but had this been a situation, if this was a game that we had to win to make the playoffs, if there was a backup in that situation that we could have won it, sit down. At some point, when your best player ain't playing this game and the game is on the line, next man up mentality when it comes to him as well.
My thing is, so I think they're so invested in Koo though. They don't want to sit him down. I think they trust in his kick game. It's just unfortunate he just had a bad game.
Yeah, he had a bad game.
Now I see injury or he's nagging something.
D. Coleman said Pena would probably be the kicker. Pull up D. Coleman's comment. He said Pena would probably be the kicker.
Okay. And you're breaking up just a little bit, Bree. My apologies. I didn't mean to cut you off a little bit. I don't know if your internet is a little choppy. So, but let's go ahead and get right into the next window. Atlanta's offense suffered early mistakes. The story of our offense and penalties that allowed the Saints to take a commanding lead, ultimately forcing the Falcons to play catch up throughout the game. So that was that catch up. That was the Younghoe coup, getting points on the board. It was and then as well as Atlanta showed slight improvement in the third quarter, but failed to capitalize on scoring opportunities in the final moment. So let's just talk about offense, ladies. Let's talk about it.
Now, at that point, also in the third quarter is when two of the major penalties happened, like that with Lindstrom, and I had an issue with that because
that was a phantom call in Lindstrom. I don't think that shouldn't even be called,
and it cost us 15 yards. By a penalty by I think it was Ray McLeod for another 10. So it's like the momentum at that point, was going downhill from that. But this is my thing about our defense and offense, the intensity. If you don't start a game with intensity, this is the second game where I recognize when they get a little bit more aggressive or a little bit more intense, the ref call it as some type of penalty, like you doing something to a player that you shouldn't do. And that's the second time that I've seen that, because he didn't, even from where I said that didn't occur. It didn't even look like it in the replay. It was like, I was like, what?
He tripped.
And it cost us 15 yards.
What you got on that, Miss Pam? As far as offense, how, I mean, every week it's them penalties.
Yeah, the penalties hurt us every time. I mean, like I said, the one on Lindstrom, I felt like the referee just was gonna help them no matter what, So it's I say the referee didn't like the Falcons at that point, but but it is what it is,
It is. And Miss Bree,
I gave my spill on offense.
That's right. Okay. I mean, it's just, we got to work on that. Especially, we're gonna get into one of the issues with offense that kind of cost us a little bit. Kirk Guzzo, threw 2 interceptions, contributing to the Falcons' inability to score in key moments. One was stripped. How do y'all feel about that?
I do have a question. In reference to that last drive when there was like less than 30 seconds on the clock, even the announcer said they have time to get down the field, but they have one timeout. You had like 10 seconds left when they were trying to get the ball back? Because before that there was a play that I can't remember who had the ball, but they ran up in the middle of the field, and so they didn't run off the on the side to stop the clock type of aspect. But them Puurchases was keeping them down to keep the time running off the clock. But why did we not use the timeout when we knew we had like 10 seconds left? I didn't understand that part. When we were in that situation one other time, which we won the game, I was confused.
I really, I don't know what to say in that, because I think it was who was that? Who called it, and then the time went out.
Ray McLeod called it and went. I thought he actually went out of bounds on time, but that time ran out.
Yeah. I was wondering what the hell was going on in that last few seconds of the game, because it was like we was all at the playground. Was like, it's 10 seconds. What are you doing? It's like, what the hell are you guys doing? Listen, poor communication and execution by the players and coaches in that last drive. It was just bad.
It was bad. It was bad.
That's it. But it shouldn't come down to that. It shouldn't come down to that fourth quarter. Oh, we fixing to play. It shouldn't come down to that.
Exactly.
Man, was just that. Go ahead.
I say they had ample time to create a scoring drive. Like I said, if they ran the ball, they would have probably scored. That's just my opinion. They went away with kept them off the balance because they didn't have an answer for that run game.
No, and it said my sister said, run for the next game, rush the offense, sack the quarterback, try to get into the end zone more, and stop relying on Koo's field goals. Koo will be fine, by the way. You know, some people still, going in on him, and said we should have fed Bijan more on that drive that Kirk threw the pick. He was about to break to a long run. You could tell how he was hitting the hole. No diddy. Pause.
I agree with Jerome. I agree with Jerome.
And their defense was tired by then too.
They were.
They were tired.
They went away with what? I mean, they were tired. You could tell that. I was so mad. Why they didn't run?
And that Big Ant said we should have scored touchdowns instead of attempting field goals. Like I said, and what Christy said, it really shouldn't have came down to that fourth quarter, a few seconds to try to win this thing. We really, it was like they was making some good catches and things like that. I just, let's see. Pena was probably kick if we already said that one right there. Win as a team, and then we lose as a team, and it definitely is group effort. And then said earlier Kirk was selling his balls.
he was having a bad game too. I mean, I'm like, what went on? Why he could,
he was missing people being open. And that's the difference between seeing it live than on TV. He was missing a lot of players being open.
And it said, felt like we were starting flat, and that you could tell by how the Saints were hitting it was going to be a scrape. Timely penalties killed up in the offense.
Because Derek Carr kept hitting that rookie. I don't know his name, but he scored 2 touchdowns off of the play that we should have easily rushed him or something.
Now, somebody, every time that Carr was throwing that ball away, I think what the cameras weren't showing was Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett, when he come around that corner, Carr was throwing that ball away every single time.
Yeah, he did.
And so I think a lot of people missed that, but that's what I saw from that field. Whenever he cut that corner around one of their O lines, and Carr was throwing that ball away. He did not want to be hit by Grady.
But they did call an intentional grounding on him, and he lost it down on one play.
Grady came around that corner.
Yeah,
get a chance to see it. He threw that ball away quick.
And let's talk about the defense, ladies. The Falcons started strong with their defense, but quickly fell apart under offensive pressure from the Saints. But the Falcons did hold the Saints to 96 yards rushing. It marked the first time this season the Falcons kept an opponent under 100 yards rushing. So how do you guys feel about those stats? Let's talk about, we started strong with their defense, but quickly started to fall apart under their pressure. How do y'all feel about defense? This game against the Saints.
I agree with that, and again, after those penalties, it was almost like they were scared to do anything. It was like their whole demeanor changed, and so it's just the same. It's some of the same with what we've been seeing, and what we've been saying almost every other week, especially when we lose about not only this defense, but you could tell, like Raheem said, they were executing the play. So what else do you do when this is your scheme and you're doing what the scheme is? What else do you do? It means that the schematics more than likely need to change, but they're not changing it. So I wonder on the backside, I think last night with the bird cage, they were showing some of the replays of the game and talking about it. And it makes you sort of think, sort of like how some of the Saints fans were theorizing, is that when you got so many vets on your team or a part of a unit, and your coordinator may not be listening, you just gonna do what you paid to do. Are you gonna put in any extra effort? And it seemed like the person that pushed for most effort every game, he's been consistent with it, is Bijan. I'm not seeing like the push, and Mooney. I'm not seeing like across the board like that consistency. And what do you do if this is this is my job, this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm doing it? It doesn't have quite the success that I'm used to seeing or I'm used to doing. What do you do with that? You can't always blame the defense if when your head coach and your DC stand up there at that podium and repeat every week, we're not changing it. This works, and they did what they were supposed to do. I mean, what do you do with that? It just pisses me off.
And then someone said in the chat, let me go back to that comment. It said, where was it? It was just about having Raheem call defensively. Hold on. Where was it? Somebody just said that. Oh, here you go. Scott Robinson said Raheem Morris needs to take over the defensive play calling. I don't like DC Jimmy Lake. What do y'all think about that? Anybody?
Jimmy
Your
Lake
opinions
can
on
go
it?
swim and jump in the lake for all I care.
Okay, so you in agreement.
You can't take your friends to your new job. It's just like family. You can't. If I'm working at McDonald's, everybody can't come in and I haven't figured out how to get the free fries yet. Everybody can't come up in there. I can't bring them to work with me.
Yeah.
So you don't know. I was just really, I mean, even from early on with the selection, those are the DCs he came with here already identified. He seemed like super friendly. He talked about in those early press conferences, he knew the families and all that kind of stuff. Y'all friends, and you can't always take your friend. I know I can't take my family.
You know, because sometimes when it's friends, you overlook some things. You know, you kind of let them slide. It's like, it's okay, friend. You know, you got a job today, so it's all right. It said Big Nick pointing out we held them to 3 points in the second half. Scotty also said the Falcons defense is cursed. They can't get a sack. The quarterback bottom line.
They were getting rushing now.
3 points, but we didn't make 3 to 6 more points. You see what I'm saying? We held them, and so defense held up. And again, the offensive breakdown with the penalties, it cost us. It cost us, and it cost them their momentum.
Yep.
It says 3:30 said we only scored 17 points. The defense held them to 20 points. The defense can only do so much. It says Jimmy Lake is running Raheem's defense. Okay. So on that, you have something else to say. We're gonna go ahead and break down some. You know, we're talking about defense, offense. Let's get to some of these highlights as well. Some people deserve their flowers, including
Mr.
And this is a repeated thing every week. So you're gonna see the same names similar to every week. But hey, highlight to Bijan surpassed 1,000 scrimmage yards. That's on that also marked his 5th straight 100 plus all-purpose yard game. Shout out to Bijan, man.
Awesome.
He had a good game.
I mean, what else can you say about that? Give the man his flowers, and like I keep saying, this man is young. You open up some space for this man.
He broke one. I was glad to see that. I was right there.
They were definitely trying to get him down, and he broke right through it.
Man, I was saying about time. Broke one.
So, I mean, what can you say about it? Let me see what the chat's saying. But shout out to Bijan, just going here being something that we are definitely looking forward to see grow in potential. We can depend on it. Bijan is slowly becoming a top 10 running back. He's him, definitely. I mean, what do y'all think, ladies? Just not surprising now, those numbers and everything else. How do y'all feel about Bijan?
I like Bijan.
Right. He's been
the question I think Mike was asking. I'm asking this question to y'all. Mike and them asked it to the AFN crew, the guys. It was like, is he the best player on the team right about now? How do y'all feel about that?
He has consistently demonstrated that he does his job well. And correct. So to me, you hate to divide up any player to be more popular than any other, but hey, his record shows that. Not only his record, his performance, and if immediately on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesday, he's in all kind of interviews. Do the shout out to the Lord, and he's always smiling. But look, he's a killer when he get that ball. It's over with. He's coming up the middle, so
Yep.
he does what he's supposed to do. I would say
And
he
that offensive line love hitting, rolling people over when he gets that ball. So I have to give the flowers to the offensive line. I mean, they have opened some holes up for him to. I mean, and then he did the rest, you know. But like I said, eliminate the penalties, the holding. You know, I mean, for some reason, the referee can get us on that, but yeah, he can find. I mean, once he elude one guy, he's gone. And I was ready for him to see that. I was so excited to see that.
Absolutely. You know, and Big Ed giving him his flowers. You know, I mean, there's just commend to him, shout out to him. Like Pam said, I don't put favoritism on any player, but the proof is in the pudding. It's in the numbers. But it's some other mentions that we're going to talk about that's always in the highlights as well. So, you know, he's not the only one. It's a team effort, you know. So Bijan is special. It just looks different when he got it. And, you know, it was a lot of controversy about it. But now we're seeing that, hey, we made a good decision with him.
And
It was a
he's
good decision
improving.
to draft him number 8 last year. That was a good
Mm-hmm.
decision. You know?
He's improving from last year because remember he fumbled a lot. Let's not forget. So he's making up for
eliminating that. Yeah.
I think what it was like it was just the big hype, and it was just go to be, you know, give him all the touches, you know, keep going to him. Why you're not using him enough, you know, because they couldn't really. I think they were still trying to figure him out. The fan base was just kind of divided about him at that point, and I think he was just probably feeling the pressure of it just a little bit. But let's talk about Drake London, another highlight. Caught 8 passes for 97 yards. It was his 7th game this season with at least 6 receptions and 50 yards. He leads the league in that regard. Shout out to Drake London.
Yes.
What do y'all think about that? What do you think about it? just
glad that he's being utilized as he should finally, and we're seeing his talent more so this season than we have the last 4 years.
Right.
I agree.
We get really to see his his basketball skills into play when he's going up with one hand catches and stuff. So I'm glad to finally see that.
I just think our offense just didn't get in rhythm because when they're all in rhythm, like Pitts, you have Algier, you got Bijan, you know, they may run the ball a while, then Kurt throw it. It's when you confuse the defense, like if the games that we won, they really start putting how they play, they start communicate well quickly together. You could see that. You know, you could see that very well. And so I just feel like they didn't get quite into rhythm when they could have. That seems to be the downfall because even like I think a ball slipped through Ray Ray's hand that didn't make sense to me. I don't know what was on his hands. But you know, the few times they did connect, and you know, Pitt's performance was good. So it seemed like it was just like they just couldn't get into rhythm when it should have started really in again first quarter. I don't know what we be doing in the first quarter that you don't come out swinging like Mike Tyson.
I said we had to come out hot early against his team, and we didn't.
You would think we would be in a situation of all playing New Orleans in New Orleans that we would have kind of had the offense we had when we played the Bucks. With the defense, never knew who was getting the ball. We didn't know if it was run play, if it was a throwing play, or like we stuck with the same type of plays up the middle with the tight windows almost every throwing play. And that's why we got the interceptions. It's kind of like he has plays, and I just feel like as an offensive coordinator, he needs to be more creative. You have so much talent, spread that ball around to everybody, and you can tell once the ball is being spread around, you can see how we do well as an offense. But their whole morale, they have fun doing it.
Right.
But we didn't see that.
Right.
I'm
And
in
D Sloan,
minded.
go ahead. I'm gonna get to D Sloan coming because I don't want to block everybody's face. But he said, "Hello, ladies. This was a tough loss, but let's learn from the tape and get after it against the Broncos. We still run the South. We have a bye the following week. This gives us time to rest and rise up." And I agree. I mean, despite those wins that we did get against our divisions and the conference, it helped us. So we just need to continue winning and doing what we need to do. Of course, I didn't expect us to just sweep every single, rivalry, but we want that. But realistically, it's either a tie. It's just, it is what it is. It says London's proven he's a number one. If he keeps it up, I would offer him 132 over 4 years after the season. Okay. Exactly right. Southside Dupree has 5 sacks with the Chargers. Should have kept it limit. So, so shout out to Drake London. Let's get into some more highlights of some players. I always like to give people their flowers. Mooney.
Yeah, Darnell Mooney. Yeah.
Drew a couple of big pass interference calls and put up 96 yards on 5 receptions of his own, showing a rapport with Cousins that he has enabled so much good this year. Go ahead and give that man his flowers as well. Mooney. Yeah. I'm liking it. What do y'all think?
Hey, once Mooney catches it, it's over with. He's going. He's gunning for that end zone. So yes, he should get his flowers.
Yeah, I like it. I didn't know too much about him prior to him joining the team, but I do like the addition to the offense.
And I like his when he first signed with the team, his interview, what he said, he's here to not to take over. He wants to help the team to win. So his attitude is right. He's a good number 2 man. So I will say that.
It says Darnell Mooney is starting to be a solid, she just said, Scotty Robinson, that he's a solid number 2 wide receiver. Did we just sign a wide receiver? I caught some of the news.
It was a corner. Lamar Jackson. It was a corner.
Oh, I thought it was a wide receiver. No,
you sure? It's a wide receiver. It's a wide receiver.
It was a receiver?
Yeah.
I thought it was a corner.
I think was he a punter or returner and then became a wide receiver? But look, he ain't played in a while. I didn't understand that other than was he free? Right. Right, man. Mike, he wants to be a part of something good. He hasn't played since 2021 or 2022. He hasn't played.
I said he want to be part of something good.
We finally are not becoming the retirement league. These players still got some gas to prove and everything. They over here trying to at least contribute and be a good asset to a good team. Everybody's kind of seeing what's going on over here in the Falcons organization, and they want to be a part of whatever is developing here. If we can just get us on point, it said Mooney and London is 1A and 1B wide receiver. Oh, okay. Jakeem Grant. We signed back Jakeem Grant, Jameer Grant, Jakeem Grant. Okay. So I feel like we're picking up pieces that are still kind of solid in their games, and it is a team effort. And I think, of course, we got some superstars that's developing, but we have a lot of weapons that we're developing here that I'm excited to see come along. Now let's get into. There's another highlight here. We're talking about Aiden Ellis.
Right.
Leading the NFL with 4 consecutive games of 10+ tackles.
Wow.
And let me tell you, this is one of the highlights of why I say that Terry cooks best in the spring, because Caden Ellis was a 2023 sign on in like March of 2023. And this year, I mean, he just has blossomed out. And I just think, again, going back to that offensive NFL operating schedule, you will see like right now, like with this addition with Jakeem, and then you look, if you go through that schedule, there is all kind of different things that behind the scenes that they're doing right now through December, looking at March, that they're starting to do, talking about contracts, who needs to sign and who shouldn't, who they're going to be considering letting go. Some of those conversations are starting to happen. And so Caden Ellis has been one of those successes that we signed in the spring of last year.
Did he come from New Orleans?
He did.
I think
Him and
I think
Anya Mata both came from New Orleans.
Good pickup.
Excellent pickup.
Caden Ellis is the flash on the defense. Yes. Big Ant. That's right. Nose tackle. We need to have you on the field though. Ooh. Brian, people said don't put Ellis back in coverage. I had a heart attack when
I almost had a heart attack when I saw that. I said, "Oh my God!" He was wide open. He dropped the ball. You could have hit a pin drop when that happened. I was like, "Ooh."
Exactly.
I was
shout out
for the
to him.
Philadelphia game actually, because I was hoping Kirk Cousins would ran that 2-minute offense or whatever he ran and scored a touchdown after that. Of course, that didn't happen.
And John said, and yes, and as long as we keep him out of trying cover guys twice as fast as he is, okay. Man, Caden was about to get cussed out through that TV when I saw Kamara wide open.
But you know what? He was relieved too. He was like, "Woo!" You should have saw his expression after the boy dropped the ball. I think he was relieving a sigh of relief after that.
That would have been game over for real, yeah.
Oh, yes, it would, man.
Yes. But overall, congratulations to him. You know, I love to see players getting it. Let's talk about we talked about Ray McLeod. Missed one. Well, he missed one leaping grab over the middle, but had a couple of big catches over the middle. How do y'all, shout out to him, Ray McLeod. I don't know what it is about hearing Ray and Kirkwood Cuzzo and all that on our team. Our team is getting a little cultural, if you will. I don't know what's up with that Ray McLeod name, but I laugh and giggle every time I hear it. But shout out to him to, everything, a highlight as well. What do y'all think about Mr. Ray McLeod?
I mean, he performed well other than that one thing. So, I mean, things happen throughout a game. So, the thing is, you see how that is a highlight. If Pitts would have dropped one ball, they would have said, get rid of him. That's how fast.
Yeah.
That's a big difference in how people treat, different players differently.
Y'all so silly. Pookie and Ray and them.
Right. Riding bikes to the corner store after school. That's what it sounds like to me.
This team is urban. I'm sorry. That is too funny, though. It is, though. I mean, when I heard it, I was like, Ray, that's his name for real? Yeah. Okay, Ray. Ray.
Right.
We just need Antonio and a man. Oh, Lord.
Oh, my goodness.
That's right. But, man, so shout out to him, I love it. These highlights as we go along. And last but not least, last little highlight, then we'll just kind of wrap it up and give our little last points here. Oh, we still got a little bit more ways to go. I might ask a couple of questions to y'all. Just give me your opinions on, of course, after this. But Kyle Pitts also had some key grabs, including two of the final catches of the game to give Atlanta an outside shot at getting into field goal range. Hey, I
Yeah.
think Kyle Pitts has been listening to the AFN podcast or something because I don't know. He's been shipping up and getting it right lately. What do y'all? How do y'all feel about that?
I think he's coming into his own, and a lot of people, I mean, between tackling and receiving, you know, he's coming in. He's finally coming into his own. So I feel good about it. We got some more flowers to give, though, Ms. Maggie.
But that's what I'm saying. We got to keep going. I'm only doing a couple of highlights, so you can add your own highlights, your own flowers as well. Of course, you know, however you want to do it. If you got somebody, you can bring out some people you want to highlight and give their flowers to. We missing old bruh man from the fifth floor. A name like Ray, he's definitely from the South. Oh yeah, you know, Ray. But anybody else about Kyle Pitts? You know, it was a lot of controversy surrounding him. Oh, it's what to expect from him. We need to trade him out. He's a bust. Oh, look at my little background doing stuff all of a sudden. You know what? I'm done.
I see that.
You know what? I didn't even touch it. I've been trying to get this. So if y'all see the background doing all kinds of retarded stuff,
Yeah.
who is it that jumped up in here?
Oh my God.
Oh Lord, man, Mike, what do you want?
You talking about that? This my Quisha, honey. I told y'all about y'all attitude. Oh yeah, this my Quisha, honey.
What you got to say, Marquisha?
Hey, Marquisha.
Y'all be talking about me like that. I don't want to get.
What you got to say, Marquisha? Since you don't took the spotlight, changed the background up and everything.
You ain't right, honey. This my Quisha.
Marquisha. What do you got to say about these Falcons team, your opinion and everything else?
All right, man. Y'all said something about Kyle Pitts, and I just want to come on here and sing a little song for y'all.
Oh Lord.
I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you that I was coming back. Y'all didn't want to listen to. Y'all don't want to listen to my Quisha. No. Y'all gonna learn to listen next time.
Don't. Oh, Ray McCloud's having a decent season. That's right, Scotty. Yeah. Laugh out loud. Everybody, look, this man just wanted to be a part of the show. I mean, but go ahead, Mike. I know you gave your opinions and everything else. Overall, how do you feel mid-season right now as far as these Falcons, of course, getting ready to go into this bye week and this game against the Saints? You know, what do you feel? Do you still feel like we got potential and a momentum, or is it time to really, really look into addressing some of these key? We're basically starting to see what our team is capable of each game, and we already know that one thing is penalties, and not making the adjustments and changing up or it's going away from what's working. How do you feel right about now, Mike?
I kind of got to talk to myself when I say this, but the expectations for the Falcons are way too high. All right, we literally just fired a coach. All right, I think we have to really be. We got to be honest with ourselves. Like, do I believe that the Falcons can, make a push, for contend for a championship? I do. I believe they have enough. But let's be real. That typically doesn't happen in the first year. Maybe in the second year, but the first year we're pushing it. And I think that's the thing. Falcons fans we are thirsty for a championship. And I think that's what's pushing a lot of these unrealistic expectations, especially with Raheem. Yeah, he's familiar with this team, but this is the first time that he's had the opportunity to build a team for himself. Like, he's been a head coach, but he's never had the opportunity to build a team for himself. So he's even going through the struggles of being a head coach. So to be honest, we just got to get one step at a time. The first step is just to make the playoffs.
And that's how I feel. Me, honestly, personally, I was like, okay, my goal was just winning this division as well as beating that 79, record. We
Right.
could
Yep.
basically,
Get past that
beat
record.
that. We're doing better than we have been doing,
Right.
as well as just any kind of improvement in the numbers as far as defense and offense. I feel like that's a step forward into a better season next year. So it's like my expectations is just doing better than we did last year. If we make it to the playoffs and get past a round or whatever, I commend them. Super Bowl, no, but we can at least get this damn division if we play right. We beat who we supposed to beat. Games we supposed to win. Just saying.
Yeah, that like I said, that's the thing. It's really just unrealistic expectations. Like this team has not been together long. Like they haven't been together a full year, a complete year, and we're expecting them to beat Kansas City and beat some of the best teams in the league that have been together. Like Philadelphia Eagles, we beat them, but they've been together for a while, for a good 4 or 5 years or so. Kansas City Chiefs they've had a 5, 6, 7 year run to the championship. So it's like we expect the Falcons to beat teams like that in the first year of a head coach. That's not realistic.
And realistic while we're skating, every game. Honestly, we're basically getting passed by the skin of our teeth on some of these games and everything else, and we can't go into the playoffs like that. Gotta echo. We just need one more win to equal the win total and two to surpass it. Okay. So I wanted to give some more flowers to a couple of more players, couple more highlights. I know Christy, you had brought some things up. Who else deserves some flowers up in here? Some highlights from the game.
Ms. Maggie, I was gonna give you your flowers because since you started the Ladybirds, I've recognized again. I know Miss Pam has too. I recognized other content creators bringing ladies on into their forum, and I've been invited onto a lot of other male forums. So I just wanted to say thank you for inclusion, but then your tenacity on top of being, being a mother and working hard, that you continue to push for having our voices heard. Because when I started looking on YouTube, I actually looked for us, and when you look across the league, there are not a lot of women content creators that are actually talking about team related sports. So really do appreciate you and the effort that you do to just have different forums and opportunities for fans to share. Again, coming from a state that don't have a team, and just having this opportunity to even meet others on forums like AFN, see even locally that there's some fans in this area I don't get a chance to see a lot. So thank you for allowing us to share and encouraging us. Even Morticia, what's her name? What's the lady that was singing? I told you so.
Marquisha. I don't know what you got going on.
Marquisha. Marquisha, I really appreciate her because she the one that said, "Hey,
Marquisha.
Okay, Marquisha. Get her name right. But no, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up. And of course, I've been wanting to encourage other women to do it, even if you do your own thing. A shout out to actually Whoopi Goldberg. I don't know if you heard anything about what she just announced on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show.
Yeah.
But she is launching the first official all-women sport network.
Wow.
All sports. If you haven't heard it, look it up. Whoopi Goldberg is now launching Actually, it's launching in a couple of countries so far, and she's getting ready to announce the U.S. Launch soon. But I think it's called AW something something. I think it's AWNA or something like that. But yes, it's an all women's channel, just like you got ESPN and it's everything from not just football, not just basketball and soccer and softball. She's talking about all over the world type sports and things like that. So I'm excited to hear all about that. So you're going to see a lot more women out here doing her thing. I'm gonna have to find the advertisement about that. If anybody got it, Mike, could you grab that for me real quick? Just like a picture or something real quick for me. Shout out to her, because I know it was kind of hush hush a little bit, but I caught that a little bit. It was I'm in this ladies group, and someone highlighted that, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it. I was like, man, this is huge for the women.
Yeah,
it's huge.
It's big.
I mean, that means it's going to be opening up. And I looked at it like you were saying, is opening up the platform for other women. Now they can go over there and be commentators and have lead their own shows. And, it can get really big. It can really get big, and it will open up more doors for more ladies to get into different types of sports and get some highlights and things. We just have to support it, though. I don't know what type of platform it's going to be on, but it's probably going to be slowly building and everything else. But the fact that she is recognizing that there needs to be a platform for women, I love it. I love it. So y'all look that up, do your research and look that up. I'll talk about it when she launches it. I think it's coming out sometime next week, the announcement. I'm excited. But thank you, Christy. But no, I want to commend you guys for just stepping up and taking my answer, Miss Pam recruited everybody. But
I'm doing heavy recruiting.
but just answering my email and being excited about it and everything else. I love it. I love it. I love it. But on that, let's talk about the Broncos. That's what we'll be playing next.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. So, what do we need to do to beat them going into this bye week? Whoa. Marquisha, are you still here with us?
Yes, honey.
How we gonna beat those Broncos, Hannon? Let us know.
I can't even take myself serious. I think this would be. I think this would be a game where we can't take.
Run the damn ball.
That's it.
We can't take these guys serious. We can't.
Right.
We can't take these guys lightly. I think having taken the Saints lightly, a game that we should have had. You looking at young quarterbacks. I mean, we haven't had the best of luck with quarterbacks that have been mobile. Yeah. So I'm kind of nervous about this, to be honest, because I was the one that I've been stating for a while that I thought their quarterback was going to have a pretty good year. I thought he was a pretty good prospect, and he's lived up to that. So
yes,
he's doing a wonderful job there. So I would not take the Broncos like this. We have to run the dang on ball. That's for sure. I think we have to run the ball in order to and stay running the ball. Don't run the ball a couple times and then
go away with it.
Yeah. That's the most frustrating part. So stick with the run.
Might be in a AFN version of Shanae.
And
honey, you're gonna get my Quisha on this channel. Knowledgeable and everything. So, ladies, my Quisha said it. It's a little nervous game coming up right before the bye. How do y'all feel? Why we got echo? I don't know why.
I hope they get there early because
Oh, Christy gone.
Uh-oh.
Lost Christy.
Maybe she lost her connection. I don't know. But we'll let her come on back. But Pam, Bree. Oh, there she go. Let me let her finish up her statement. Hold on.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Come on back, lady.
Yeah.
You still with us?
Can you see me?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I work 3.
Oh, lost again.
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
We're gonna give it one more time. I don't know what's going on. I think her internet, because it's probably acting up on her. But we'll come back to Christy in a moment. Bree, you want to go in? Just how do you feel? You know what we need to do to beat these Broncos? And Christy, we're gonna let her talk, and Pam, then we're gonna get back to you to make sure you'll get your life together over there.
Okay. I keep getting kicked off for some reason.
I don't know. I don't know. You've been fine this whole time, so I don't know why I keep kicking you off. I don't
Just
know.
make the immediate adjustments when needed, not wait till a whole half of a game is surpassed. And we need to be coming out with creativity and not with the obvious starting out. Especially they already know who's gonna get the ball first. It's gonna be Bijan. Switch it up sometimes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Time okay, as well as Pam. Then we're gonna get back to Christy.
Eliminate the penalties. Cut
Yeah.
down on those penalties. The penalties been hurting the offense a whole lot. Once they eliminate the penalties, I think the offense should be okay. That's all I got.
Okay. And Miss Christy, I know you was trying to say something, so go ahead, finish it on up.
Yeah.
And thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike.
That altitude at a mile high makes it very difficult to breathe. And I know it was some rumors about the team getting to New Orleans late. I just hope that they consider getting there quite early, especially since anybody that's had an injury and you're moving a little bit slower, you really I'm sure they're going to do some type of oxygen therapy with them in order for them to adjust quickly. But just get there early enough to practice and get your heads together. So I agree with Bree, and
I heard they were
Miss
going to
Pam.
go there late. I heard about that. They're
That's a hot
going to
mess
leave
if they
late.
do.
Yeah, I know. Hoo-wee.
It said if Cool misses a field goal early in the game, should we keep just letting him kick? I mean, I'm not
They
too.
just shouldn't put him in a bad position to leave it up to him. They need to go and score, go and score them touchdowns to eliminate.
I think he need to be kicking. He need to be kicking in his sleep right now. Every day, just kick. He goes to the grocery store, kick. I mean, just practice, man. Just play.
Yeah, man.
I'm not worried about
they
Cool.
stole his cleats. Somebody need to return his
That's what I'm
cleats
saying.
back.
They stole that man's cleats or his number. His number,
Oh, God.
he he'll different whole number.
You asked Bijan to give the number back.
Yeah, go ahead, Bijan. That's all right. We're gonna do a little swap. I think it's just, it was just a bad game for him. But I do have the picture put up here. Thank you, Marquisha, for putting this up here. But I just did want to highlight because a lot of people didn't know about this right here. But yeah, she everything from soccer, basketball, tennis, cricket, curling, you name it. If a woman is playing it, we're showing it. So she is launching a new league. So I'm definitely excited to see how that comes along, everybody. It's starting to be recognized that a lot of these people that's going to college and playing these games and things like that, it's not broadcast. It's not talked about. I mean, you got the males, you might see some college football and high school sports. You get to see all of that, but they don't highlight the women as much. I know there are a couple of restaurants too that are now starting to cater to. I think there's a restaurant opening up in Georgia, if I believe. That's going to be an all ladies sports spot.
Right.
Now I want to open up a restaurant, but I won't make it just exclusively women. But I do want to highlight that as far as a night that ladies can come together. I'm all big about education and teaching everybody about, well, at least the game of football. We could start there, then we can work our way to basketball. But I want to bring a camp together of ladies that just want to sit down and watch film, watch the game, just ask questions and really get to know it a lot better. Because honestly, when you sit down and really pay attention to what's happening, you're focusing on it more. You're asking questions. I have babies. Well, they're not babies, but I have my oldest. Like, she's going to watch parties with me. She's trying to go to games, and she's asking questions. What does that mean? What's happening here? And we're bringing up a new generation of women that are, deeply into this. So, ladies, but I appreciate everybody just hanging on. We really just wanted to kind of highlight what happened, but there's no need to panic. There's no need to panic right now. It was just a bad game, whatever. And
Yeah, it was.
let's go ahead and wrap this up, because I don't like to stay over an hour and 30. But I'm just going to say something here. After the Broncos game, we come with a win. I do want to open up for that bye week. I'm thinking about allowing some of our fans to join us, just because. Just that's that chance to kind of get your piece in, because I do that quite often, and we haven't had a fan appreciation week yet. So thinking about letting you guys come on, but please behave. My Quisha, and be out, be on your best behavior, and I'll make sure you guys come on and speak your piece, and y'all make a debut on the Ladybirds of AFN show. So let's go ahead and close this one on out, ladies. Let's get out of here. Who was in the chat said she had to go. How about Miss Bree? Go ahead and wrap it up, close it out.
Well, I just hope we actually watch film and we make some key adjustments to winning the rest of the season out. I have faith in the team, even though we are in a new situation with new head coach, new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator. Based off of the games we played, only one game we played. Well, this is the second game we played bad. All the other games could have been winnable, and they were on us because of penalties, or we just weren't putting our best foot forward. So I'm very optimistic of what this team can do. We're just not playing to our best ability. And I think we just need to start getting the mindset and playing with urgency that this every week is a Super Bowl Sunday. So.
And I agree, because it's like, I think the Falcons aren't a great team, but we're a good team. We have potential. We got to make some adjustments, definitely, especially after this bye week, because it ain't gonna get no easier. This record. So the schedule that's coming up. Miss Pam, go ahead and close it on out.
Like I said, eliminate some of the penalties, and definitely review films on I mean, there's some films out on Bo Nix that the defense could dissect on, and just they got to have a good game plan, because this is the final game before the bye week. So we got to come out on a winning note before the bye. So that's all I have to say right there.
And Miss Christie?
The same thing, just win. I don't even have a prediction or nothing. I think they squashed that for me. I hope that they're using this week just to prepare for this game, and then prepare for their bye week. Just get some rest, and then just really come back swinging. Act like Mike Tyson is about to hit you. Like, come out swinging.
Well, speaking of, they fight Friday. So
hit my Quisha or something. Just do something.
But I agree, Christy. I just want us to come into this game, definitely, taking over the trap, and doing what we need to do against this damn team. Because this game, I am a little nervous about. And this game we gotta win. And it looks like the Hawks win. Okay.
All right, good.
They're inconsistent, but go Hawks. Other than that, I just want us to also come out healthy. You know, against them. That way we can rest some of the players that have been itching to come back. And like you said, we got to come out swinging the rest of this, you know, season. So we got a point to prove. But like Marquisha said, you know, we got too much high expectations for this team. So we got to be realistic. Not be so hard on them. And just pay attention. We see it every week to week to week to week, what we have to work on. And because yes, we're getting lucky with coup kicks and Kirk having a good game, and we get some receivers to catch some things, but there are still some things that we need to take care of. So on that note, though, let's get up out of here. We appreciate everybody that have watched us, that came to the watch party, that also was second line in New Orleans, took over, which we could have brought home the win. But other than that, everybody came out there, you know, and behaved and came on back home safely. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we will be probably doing another watch party. I'll announce it soon. At the south side of town. If you're on that side, a couple of people that show up, the playground on Roosevelt Highway. And let's do it, ladies. Let's get up out of here. Good night.
Good night.